We have Dr. Amit Gupta, NEET exam educator from Unacademy, who's also a petitioner in the case. Dr. Gupta, if I could come to you first. What really explains this? Over 24 lakh candidates, we do believe, had appeared for the NEET exam 2024 at more than 4,700 centers this time. And many students, it is being reported, have been given All India rank 1. Thousands of students have been given grace marks. How is this possible?
See, there are two issues in this matter this year. One is about the alleged paper leak, and other is about the goof up, the alleged goof up made by NTA while declaring the results. So let us talk one by one. Talking about the alleged paper leak, there have been FIRs and the police investigating officers who have claimed that sanctity of the exam has been breached. And for that same matter, a petition has been put in front of Supreme Court, and every day there are new petitions which are being tagged in the same petition for this particular issue, which is NEET and NEET UG paper leak. Now, what happened? This issue was already subsidized. Amidst all this, NTA declared the result, and that too on the day of election, 10 days before the expected or the declared date, and then it had more than there have never been more than one or two toppers scoring 720 out of 720,
right.
But 67 students scoring the same. And then also practically impossible scores like 718 and 19 were declared. So all this led to a lot of chaos and confusion, and NTA kept a silence on these issues until there was a public outcry. Then only a notification, a clarification was issued that some mechanism has been derived to give bonus marks, grace marks to the students where time loss occurred. Now the point is that let's talk about this grace mark issue. NTA has actually used the judgment of a CLAT case to normalize and give grace marks to affected students. And however, clearly in the judgment, it is written that it is not applicable and cannot be used as a reference for engineering and medical entrance exam. See, the size of the CLAT exam is very small, while NEET UG is the largest exam, possibly the largest exam in the world. 25 lakh candidates appearing. So what is this happened? That there are certain things, maybe mathematically, there was a logic in that particular grace marks giving thing, but practically it has failed, because it has made some of those students who were below cutoff the all India toppers. Say, for example, we were expecting a cutoff for government MBBS around 630 marks. But there are examples where this grace marks has made the 630 marks student reach 720 and become all India rank 1.
Right.
Rather than being not selected. Public outcry.
So you're saying that there are two issues at hand here. First is, of course, the mechanism that has been adopted of giving grace marks to the students, and on what basis that has been done, that really is difficult to understand at this point in time. However, the NTA has tried to give explanations. We'll talk about that also, but also there is another issue of exam leak. Well, the paper leak that we're talking about allegations that have also come to the fore. Dr. Gupta, what would you say? What's your opinion? Should the exam be held again? I mean, it's going to be a massive exercise if that happens, and that looks quite unlikely at this point in time.
See, in the history of pre-medical entrance exams, once and only once, the All India Pre-Medical Test, AIPMT, which is now called as NEET, was quashed. And it happened in 2015 on alleged paper leaks itself. And I was actually coincidentally here. I was the person who spearheaded that entire movement. We got the PIL and writ petitions, and we managed to convince the court that the sanctity of exam has been breached. Now, what Honorable Justice Amitabh Rai said in that case, that quashing of an exam must be the last resort. See, it is like, if I may give an analogy, it's like giving capital punishment. It is only given in the rarest of the rare cases. Now, what happens if there is no other remedy available apart from quashing the exam? Then only the exam should be cancelled. The reason is because there are numerous genuine students who have worked hard and they have to undergo a lot of stress once again. So once the investigating authorities conclusively establish whether really the sanctity of the exam has been breached, because if the sanctity of the exam has been breached, as it happened in 2015, and we managed to convince the court. Right now, this time, even I don't have any direct evidences. We are seeing FIRs in police claiming in Gujarat as well as in
In
Patna
Haryana
that
also.
yes, yeah, in Haryana also, yes, the sanctity is breached. I
Yes.
would request the court to take suo moto and call those investigating officers and take their affidavits and then transfer the case to CBI and make it very quickly. Let us establish the fact, first fact, that whether the sanctity is breached or not.
Right.
If it is not breached, then we should close this file, and if it is breached, then we have no option but to reconduct the examination. So
Okay.
once that
Okay.
puzzle is solved, then we can go ahead with the second problem, which is a major goof by NTA, by introducing a system of normalization, a system of giving grace marks in an examination which is an elimination examination. It's not a board examination whereby you can give grace, because if you
Right.
give grace to one student, you
Right.
are cutting the neck of another student. You cannot do
Absolutely. Well,
this.
that's a very good point, an important point that you've raised here. And of course, whether the NTA would be able to give any justification as to what has happened in the court, the matter is going to be heard very soon, in a few days from now. Well, that remains to be seen, and how this entire controversy really pans out in the coming days. That also is something we'll keep an eye
Suggestion
on.
before we close.
Okay.
I don't understand why is government not making this exam online, just like JEE.
Yes.
I mean, this will not only
That's
solve
something a lot of
logistic
people are
issues.
asking about. Yes, a lot of people have expressed their concerns about that, that the exam should be made online. That
Yeah.
why, yes. All right,
So I don't
complete
know.
your
There is
point,
no,
yes.
can't find a reason why it's not happening.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Gupta, for taking out the time and speaking to NDTV.